What if an ordinary lake could become the most exciting attraction of the summer? Not with a giant construction project, not with a traditional amusement ride, but with electric mini-jet boats, floating tracks, modular docks, and an experience that feels like go-karting on water. This is water-karting. And from the moment the boats leave the dock, it feels different from almost every other recreational activity on the lake. You sit low over the surface. You feel every change in direction. The water moves beneath you, spray rises around the boat, and even a short straight creates an immediate sense of speed. From the air, the floating barriers form a complete circuit across the water. From the driver's seat, every corner becomes a new challenge. And when several boats enter the track together, the lake becomes a shared playground filled with movement, energy, and summer fun. The experience is simple to understand. Step into the boat, learn the basic controls, follow the floating track, and begin exploring. New riders can start carefully, using wide sections of the course to become comfortable with steering and throttle control. At first, every turn feels unfamiliar. The water is always moving. The boat responds differently from a car. Riders quickly discover that looking ahead, choosing a smooth line, and controlling the throttle can completely change the experience. Then confidence begins to grow. The turns become smoother. The acceleration becomes more exciting. And instead of simply trying to complete the course, riders begin looking for a better line through the next corner. That feeling of improvement is a major part of the attraction. It is easy enough for a beginner to enjoy, but engaging enough to make people want another session. A wide floating track can provide a relaxed introduction for families, first-time riders, and resort guests. A tighter layout can create a more technical experience with consecutive turns and faster changes of direction. A longer course can add open sections where riders feel stronger acceleration and enjoy the freedom of moving across the water. Because the track is modular, the layout does not have to remain the same forever. Operators can adjust the shape of the course, create new corners, open longer straights, or redesign the experience for a special event. Known body of water can support several different track concepts. The boats can also be selected for different types of operation. A smoother, more accessible power configuration can be suitable for beginners, family entertainment, and high-volume rental use. More powerful versions provide stronger acceleration and a more intense experience for confident riders and premium activities. The difference is not simply a number on a specification sheet. It changes how quickly the boat responds, how strongly it accelerates out of a turn, and how much control the rider needs to use. That means an operator can build a fleet around the intended customer. A family resort may prioritize approachable models and wider tracks. An adventure park may combine accessible boats with higher performance options. A dedicated water sports center may create different experience levels, allowing customers to begin with an introductory session and return for something more demanding. AdmitJet offers electric mini-jet boats in multiple power configurations and different hull materials, allowing each project to balance performance, durability, appearance, operating environment, and budget. Colors and exterior graphics can also be customized. A resort can match the boats to its visual identity. A water park can create a colorful fleet. An operator can introduce sponsored designs, themed boats, or premium branded experiences. But the boat is only one part of a successful attraction. AdmitJet can provide a complete water entertainment rental solution, including electric mini-jet boats, modular floating tracks, boarding docks, boat, parking docks, pontoons, floating operating platforms, and other supporting equipment. The project can be planned around the available water area, shoreline access, intended customer group, target fleet size, and operating model. A well-designed dock gives guests a clear place to board and disembark. Dedicated boat spaces help staff organize the fleet between sessions. A floating operations area can support safety briefings, equipment checks, battery management, staff coordination, and daily maintenance. The track defines where the boats operate and creates a more structured experience than simply allowing riders to travel freely across open water. Together, these components turn individual boats into a complete attraction, and that is where the commercial potential begins. A Water-Kart project can create several types of customer experience. Guests can pay for individual sessions. Friends can book together. Families can share a summer activity. Companies can organize team events. Hotels and resorts can offer exclusive guest packages. Water parks can introduce timed sessions, premium experiences, group bookings, and seasonal promotions. The visual nature of the activity also gives operators something highly shareable. The boats, the colors, the spray, the floating track, and the aerial view all create natural content for social media. Every happy guest with a phone can help show the experience to the next potential customer. But commercial feasibility is not based on excitement alone. The project must also be practical to operate. The customer journey needs to be clear. Guests arrive and register. They receive safety equipment and a concise operating briefing. Staff assign the appropriate boat and power setting. Guests board from the dock, enter the controlled track, enjoy a timed session, and return to the operating area. The boats are then checked and prepared for the next group. This repeatable session model makes it possible to plan capacity, staffing, scheduling, and fleet rotation. An operator does not need to begin with the largest possible installation. A smaller project can start with a limited fleet and a simple track layout. Consider a simple illustrative example. Imagine an operation with 6 boats, 4 sessions per H, are 6 operating hours per Dalton Y, and an average ticket price of $25 at only 40% of the theoretical session capacity. The operation could generate approximately $1,440 in daily gross ticket revenue. That is an example, not a guaranteed return. As demand develops, the operator can add boats, expand the dock, adjust the course, introduce different experience levels, or create group events. That ability to start at a manageable scale and expand later is one of the strongest advantages of a modular system. Electric propulsion also changes the atmosphere around the operating area. Without the constant noise and exhaust of a conventional combustion engine at the point of use, communication between guests and staff becomes easier, and the activity can feel more connected to the surrounding environment. The sound of the water, the movement of the boats, and the reactions of the riders become part of the experience. Of course, every location is different. A successful project still requires a proper assessment of the water area, local regulations, operating permits, insurance, weather conditions, rescue access, charging arrangements, staffing, and customer demand. The financial result will also depend on local pricing, operating season, visitor traffic, maintenance, and management quality. This is not a promise that every body of water automatically becomes a profitable attraction. It is a flexible project model that can be evaluated, designed, and adapted to local conditions. The strongest locations are not always the largest lakes. They are locations where the water is accessible. The customer flow is clear, the experience is visible, and the operator can deliver safe, efficient sessions throughout the day. A resort may use the attraction to increase guest engagement. A water park may use it to introduce a premium activity. A tourism operator may use it to create a new reason for visitors to stay longer. An entrepreneur may build a focused water-kart rental business around group bookings, summer visitors, and repeat customers. The key is not simply owning several boats. The key is building the complete experience around them. A recognizable track, an organized dock, a suitable fleet, a safe operating process, and an activity that guests remember after they leave the water. This is what happens when Go-Karting leaves the road. It becomes a water sport that is accessible, social, customizable, and full of energy. It gives beginners something they can enjoy within minutes. It gives returning riders a reason to improve. It gives friends and families something they can experience together. And it gives resorts, water parks, clubs, and entrepreneurs a new way to transform available water into an organized summer attraction. AdmitJet can help develop the complete concept. From the electric mini-jet boats to the floating track, docks, pontoons, and supporting operating layout. If you have a lake, sheltered coastal area, resort waterfront, water park, or another suitable location, the first step is to understand what can be created there. Measure the available water area. Consider the intended customers. Choose a starting fleet size. And imagine what that quiet stretch of water could become. Because sometimes, the next great water attraction does not need to be built beside the lake. It can be built directly on it. Tell us where you would build your own water-kart park and what kind of track you would create first.